conscious, I action on the family. I am conscious, I am Turtlegang to represent. I sing a song of victory, I sing a song of love. I get it from the ancients and tell me fill it up. I sing a song of victory, I sing a song of love. I get it from the ancients and tell me turn it up.
Well, I go to our peace. Welcome to TGEDragonTV, where we spit that fire,
that flame.
Where the truth needs no apology. TGEDragonTV.
I get it from the ancients and tell me turn it up. I sing a song of victory, I sing a song of love. I get it from the ancients and tell me fill the cup. I sing a song of victory, till we victorious. Victorious. I sing a song of victory, till we victorious.
Alright, okay, we live.
Oh, we ready?
No doubt. Alright, peace, Dr. Valentine. Welcome to Know the Ledge University. Welcome back to New York. We are glad to have you in the building. No doubt, no doubt. I want to get right into it. I want to build on the fact that, you know, New York City, the metaphysical underground, is something that was created in the late 90s, the early 80s, and then it metamorphed into the early 90s, and it grew into the late 90s, and it exploded into the 2000s, and now it is a phenomenon in this era. What would be your message to these young teachers, to these neophytes, to these young warrior scholars out here who are seeking knowledge of self and seeking information, but might not necessarily have a foundation to stand upon?
As you see, there has to be a recognition of the lineage. Brothers like yourself are beginning to put a synchronicity to the information.
Yeah.
There has been a missing of the baton. The baton was dropped. So you have young brothers running without it, and they don't know where the finish line is. They don't even know where the starting point was, because the baton wasn't passed to them. They don't know who had the baton before them. So I believe that they will come into that eventually. And I believe that young brothers and sisters who are out there like I was, because there was nobody guiding me, at least until I began to look for and found, as they say, when the student is ready, the master appears. I think that because of the society that we're in, we have a lot of students who are ready, but a lot of them don't know where the masters are. And when they look and see what the masters are about, because the masters pretty much are talking like them, or they're looking at the younger versions of the masters, they believe that that's who the masters are, so they must feel that, well, I'm young like that, so I could be that too. But they don't understand that those tapes they're watching is like 20 and 30 years old. A lot of brothers and sisters really think I still look like that. I do know that there is a quickening, as I have spoken about many, many times before, and it's just like any other form of birthing. There is a trial. There is an anguish, a pain. There is a kind of postpartum effect that everybody is feeling at this moment. And they're going to come out of it. The young people are going to begin to mature. Just like anything you taste that's not ripe yet, it's bitter.
Yes.
Just when that's the young, they're picking their fruit too young. They're taking the stage without going through the trials of ripening. You see, and again, I teach at my university that there is information, and there is information that is static, and then there is information that's dynamic. Static information essentially remains the same and does not do anything. There's no conversion. There's no alchemy. Progressive movement in the information creates knowledge. And it is about teaching the young people how to teach. A lot of young people don't know how to teach. They got the information.
Yes.
But teaching has to come from a place of benevolence. It has to come from a place of humility. It has to come from a place We are imparting information. Even though you see us on the stage angry, we're not angry with the children, we're not angry with the brothers and sisters we're reaching. We're angry because of what we know we're fighting and what they have to go up against. But teaching, as we do at our university, we teach teachers. We first have to, in our school, their homework assignments are to take the class, apply it in your everyday life, and then write about what happened to you when you applied it and you got feedback. Not just about reporting the news like you're on CNN.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what was the direct personal effect to you upon application of the information you just learned.
In your journey.
Yeah. And so when they report back and they read what their experience is, I have to critique to see, well, where were you in that information? What has grown inside of you after you applied it? You know, you're not just out there narrating. You're actually going out there to get feedback, and it's in the feedback that you grow personally. And once you've grown personally, everybody around you is affected in the same manner. You radiate that growth and they pick it up. It's almost like synergy. And you become an example. You don't just have to keep screaming what you know. You have to become an example of what you know. And a lot of brothers and sisters are yet to mature and to ripen into that stage where they are the information rather than they have it in their pockets and they can dole it out. So I say to the young brothers who are dedicated, sisters who are dedicated and advocated about what it is they're doing, and not just up there on the podium trying to get their 15 minutes, that's long, arduous, very taxing, parental, very loving journey that you're on, and it is not a job, it is not an adventure, it's an odyssey and a mission. And if you've been chosen to do this, because it isn't something that you say, I'm going to go out there and be poor and try to teach people and raise them up. That's not a job. Not unless you want to pimp as a preacher over here, and he ain't raising nothing except his dollar bills and his bank account. But the kind of work that you do, you have to become selfless. You cannot make this about you only when you are learning so that you can become something for others. Unless this thing about all this metaphysics that I've been doing for the last 40 years, teaching the last 40 years, unless it is doing something to raise the intellectual and consciousness index of the people that are directly next to you, as well as by effect and by example, people that you're going to reach 10 people deep from you, it doesn't make any sense, because a lot of people get into this as a way of keeping themselves in somebody's conversation. And that's not what this was about. When we first started out, we were in a hole on Nostrand Avenue called Heal Thyself. I had 4 people that I had as my first students back in 1982, 83. And when I saw what it is, the impact on just those 2 people, that's how I wanted to be. The light that goes on in someone's eyes when you have given them something that they did not know before, but knew somewhere in their heart it's real. That is the most satisfying thing you could ever do, is to watch a mind awaken. And if you don't get enough satisfaction from that alone, leave it alone. Leave it alone. All the monies and everything, that'll come. Because people will, if the universe knows that you're doing this for the universe and balance and for my, the universe will feed you constantly. The universe took my home over there, which was the foundation for the gathering. The universe said, you don't need that anymore. I said, no, I got to hold on to it. 7 years I fought the court. And then I released it, and then all of a sudden, now I was homeless. I said, okay, what am I going to do now? I got all this knowledge, and I've acquired a little bit of wisdom from my elders. What am I going to do with this now? How do I factor it? How do I convert it? How do I alchemize it into gold? And before I knew it, my brother called me and said, listen, you don't pay $3,000 for anything up here. You come down there to Florida. I said, Florida? He says, well, you're going to retire, aren't you? I said, no. And then Queen and I said, listen, we can start anyway. It doesn't matter. So we restarted, took our savings, went down to Florida, got a house, a whole house, for half the price you was paid for a small box apartment up here, and began to rebuild. From that point, we moved out of there, got into another house where we are now today, and we're building from that point on, and there's no looking back. And what I would say to you is that if you have not gone through the crucible, cut and paste scholarship, that ain't gonna work. It's terminal, because you don't know where this information came from. As I said, those 3,500 books I read, I don't even know what I remember until somebody asks me a question. But you can't just get it off of the internet. You got to read your book. The internet, they'll pull the plug on that. Where you at? Get to books. Get a library and stack it away like the Alexandrians. Stick it down in a hole where they can't find it, because that's going to be the new goal. Because once they take away your connection to your past, the future don't belong to you anymore. Okay, so I would say to the young people, if you are genuine in your heart about doing this work that you see now, you think that just, well, Brother Valentine can do this, and Brother Bobby can do that, and Brother Delbert can do that, I can do it. Well, yeah, you probably can. You can probably mimic it. But to do it from the heart, that takes time, that takes maturity, it takes a ripening of your consciousness. And until you've gone through the crucible, you're not really a teacher. You're still a student. And the beauty of it is that if you understand the humility that goes with this, then you will remain ever the student, no matter what. And that is what it is. Our university says the mission is mastery. That's our calling. See, and the ultimate mission is to remain a student on the path of mastery. So if that helps a little bit with the young brothers and sisters who are livocated in it, and they really want to dedicate themselves to something worthy, then first lift themselves up. Find where your ego minds are, so you keep stepping on blowing up things. Find out where you planted all your ego minds and take them up.
Now, here's the law. Every civilized nation, civilized, dwell on that word for a while. Every civilized nation in the world is governed by these 6 Aboriginal treaties that make up all international law. Hence, from them come the law of nations, which has clan mothers who hold territorial rights. In order to be part of these treaties, you would have to belong to a tribal unit that was ruled by the Casa Someses, which is known in international law as clan mothers, or the women. So the women were the law. And for some of us, this is the truth. When you put back a tribal government, you have to look at who it is that selects anyone to speak on behalf of the representative of a territory upon this earth. And it must be a man, but that man must be appointed by, as they say in Europe and in international law, this must be done by the Casa Someses. She must appoint the man. Otherwise, it's not acceptable in international law. Today, Indians have a lot of trouble because they no longer know who they are.